DiCarlo. Tonight, a very special episode. Mark faces the heartbreak of osmosis with Comedy Central host comic John Camponera. Religious leader Frank Ellerby. Hemp advocate Chris Conrad. Plus tonight's band, The Underthing. And now, say goodnight to Mark DiCarlo.
Welcome to the show, folks. Good to have you here. One more time for The Underthings, our band of the night. You know, Eric, they make me feel happy. This band makes me feel peppy.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And that's hard to do, because lots of times I'm watching the news, or you're listening to the radio, and it's just always bad news, and it brings me down. It's a bummer. Too much bad stuff going on in the world. Let's face it. I mean, it is. Yeah. The world can be a depressing, downer place. I mean, we know that. It can be a tough place to live. But, I mean, you know, we're here, so we should make the best of it, don't you think? And that's what we try to do here at Goodnight America. We want to be the oasis for you in this sea of kind of depressing stuff, because we know that even the darkest cloud has a silver lining. For example, the recent problems in North Korea are, sure, they're a cause for concern. But the silver lining is this could revitalize the career of Jamie Farr.
Televisions, Jamie.
Televisions. He was in MASH, that show.
Set in Korea.
And absolutely, we all agree that it's a shame that Roseanne and Tom are getting divorced, because they seem like such a lovely couple. But the silver lining is some other lucky truck driver is going to get his own sitcom now. And of course, we're all fed up to hear with the whole OJ situation. It's tragic, but there is a silver lining. Now, Marcus Allen is going to be in Naked Gun 4.
Yeah.
See, there's a plus for everybody.
Football's Marcus Allen.
Oh, that's right. You know, this is kind of a sports theme here at the top of the show, because our first guest, not only is he a versatile actor, not only is he a comedian, not only is he from Chicago, Illinois, my personal hometown, but he's also the host of a new show on Comedy Central called Jocks. Please welcome John Camponera.
Marcus Allen work.
See? Because you're a pro. You helped us get over the hump on that one. Good to have you here.
Well, congratulations on the show.
Thanks very much.
It's great. It looks great.
You like it?
A lot of fun. Yeah.
You like the Underthings?
Oh, they're dynamite. They should be regulars. That's what I say.
Do you have a band on your show, Jocks?
No.
Now tell us what the show's about.
Well, it's a sports show, comedy sports show, and what it is Comedy Central's way of covering sports, but putting their own comedy slant to it. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to stay away from typical sports shows like Jay Johnstone's show, and these sports shows with just highlights and bloopers and scores. We're trying to get away from that, and we actually go to the locations wherever it's at, the America's Cup or the World Cup or football or baseball, the game. We actually go there and we try to put a comedy slant at the games themselves. So it's a reality-based show, and it's not sketchy, there's no, parodies. We go to the events themselves and try to find the comedy.
And you try and find like the weirder sports that are being played?
Yeah,
like
in fact, we covered
one
of the first things we did. We covered speed golf. It's a new sport just starting out in California. It was started as these ex-triathletes who also like to golf, and they combine track and golf. And it sounds funny, but it's true. And it was an actual tournament. They've already had one tournament. And the guy, what it is you play the whole course.
18 holes.
18 holes. And you get a point for every minute it takes you to play. Okay, then you get a point for every stroke it takes you. So if you shoot an 80 and it took you an hour, your total score was 140.
Wow.
And whoever has the lowest score wins. Yeah.
That sounds pretty funny. Well, good luck with that show. When's it on?
It's on Comedy Central on Friday nights. Then they air it 3 times on Saturdays, too. So
that's cool.
Our first taping was last week, and we got set for 4, and then hopefully we'll get picked up for another 4.
So now you're like totally immersed in the sports world now. Anything bug you about sports?
Well, the only thing that really bothers me about sports are these athletes that make so much money and like throw it all away on stupid behavior. There's like a rash of them. Every time you pick up a paper, there's somebody different.
Yeah.
Jack Clark, Otis Nix, and Steve Howe. Darryl Strawberry, Roy Tarpley. Roy Tarpley takes the cake. This guy played for the Dallas Mavericks, making $3 million a year, right? He gets suspended for doing cocaine. He gets reinstated. He gets a DUI. He's waiting to hear about his DUI. He gets arrested for beating up his girlfriend. He's already married with 2 kids. What the hell is he thinking about? He's at home going, how else can I screw up this career? What haven't I done yet? What am I going to do? Kidnap the commissioner's daughter for crying out loud? I want to be banned. What's the rationale? Guys would give their eye tooth to be a pro ball player, right?
Yeah.
I know I would.
I would too.
And what's he thinking about? He's at home in his mansion thinking, here I am in the prime of my life, making $3 million a year playing basketball. I've got a beautiful wife, 2 kids, a Mercedes. I don't know. I don't like it. I can't handle all this money and love and success. There's got to be a way I could screw this up. Done drugs, I cheated on my wife, beat up my girlfriend. I beat the hell out of her. They still let me play. Ah, the NBA, it's fantastic.
Now, I mentioned earlier you're from Chicago.
Yeah.
Can you believe Sandberg just walked away from $7 million a year?
No, I think he just got tired of losing, I'm waiting for Harry Carey to just crack up one day in the booth. He's been with him for so long watching.
50 years in broadcasting.
Yeah, and he's just been watching this loser of a team all this time. I'm just waiting to come into the booth one day and go, Steve, you come to the park, there's no parking spaces. You get up here and the hot dogs are tepid and the beer is warm and this team hasn't won since 1908. I just can't figure it out.
That was the best Harry Carey I've ever heard.
He starts everything out like that. He likes to end a lot of things like that, Here's a guy, Dave Concepcion, who grew up in the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico, one of those islands where the sun shines 365 days a year. And he misses a pop-up in the sun. I just can't figure it out.
Now, I think Harry's got to be one of the big broadcasters working now. I also think probably the best one working now is Vince Scully.
Vince Scully's great.
You're gonna get
Vince makes me laugh because he loves to read lips. He's like 200 yards away in a booth.
Is he good at it?
Well, sometimes you're watching him, he's like, wait a minute, here comes Lasorda out of the dugout. He's fuming. He's in the umpire's face, and it appears he wants to take the ump to Fuddruckers after the game. The ump doesn't seem to like the place. Apparently he's eaten there before. Like, okay, all right, Vince, yeah, you got it. That's exactly what he was saying.
Now, you've been doing comedy for a long time. Do you have any regular jobs before you actually started going out on the road and doing jokes?
Before I got in the stand, when I was going to college, I used to work in the summer times. I used to load trucks on the dock in Chicago. And that was an experience. The guys I used to work with were such characters. One guy worked next to me. He used to load the truck next to me. Never lifted a box, right? He'd just stand out in front of his truck all day with a cigarette, solving all the world's problems. He had a 3rd grade education. He had all the world's problems. He'd stand out there. I'll tell you what's wrong with the education system, John. I'll tell you right now. Language barrier. One word, language barrier. How's a teacher going to teach a kid 5th grade math when he doesn't understand 1st grade English? Half these kids list English as their second language. She spends more time trying to break the language barrier than she does teaching the subject.
Sure.
The rest of the kids suffer. They got to wait for Jose and Yoko to catch up. Hey, if we're going to pay our taxes to put these kids through school, at least put them in a proper grade. I don't care if they're 15 or 50. They can't speak the language. They got to go to the 1st grade. It's so simple. How the hell are they going to get a job like mine if they don't go to school?
John Camponera, folks. Watch him on Comedy Central's Jobs. We'll be right back with Frank Ellerby. Don't go away.
If you or someone you know has herpes, then this is important to watch because the product I'm going to share with you is guaranteed to work. It's called Azurex. There is no cure for herpes, but there is something guaranteed to stop outbreaks, provide soothing relief, and accelerate healing. In this attack pack, there are 5 individual swabs. They are easy to carry and easy to use. Just snap it to activate it. If you feel an outbreak coming on, apply AzurX after that first tingle and immediately feel the relief. So if you're looking for something that's powerful, natural, and really works, then order AzurX now.
Welcome back. We're back here with John Camponera and our next guest, who has spent the last couple of years crisscrossing the country the country and the globe, actually, in search of a deeper meaning to life. He says we are living in the dawn of a new age, and he has now founded a brand new religion for the 90s. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome seeker Frank Ellerby.
Glad
to have you here. Have a seat.
Well, thank you.
Glad you can join us in between your globe trotting here.
Well, thank you.
Now, so you've invented your own religion. How does a guy go about doing that?
Well, it's quite simple, Mark. You just look at the marketplace, you find a need, and you fill it.
Uh-huh. And what need did you fill?
The need for spirituality. Spirituality isn't appealing to the young people today.
No.
No, we need a religion that's more user-friendly, one that could be featured on MTV.
Uh-huh. So, what religion did you come up with for the 90s?
Mark, you're looking at the world's first Christabuju.
What is a Christabuju?
Christabuju.
Is that, am I saying it right?
Yes, it's a compilation of 3 of our best religions: Christianity, Buddhism, and Judaism.
Christabuju. I get it. Oh, okay.
Yes.
And what makes Christabujuism? What makes Christabujuism different from other religions?
Well, first of all, we threw away the concept of sin.
Good.
No more sin.
Positive.
Thank you. Anything from masturbation to murder, it's all okay. Within reason.
Sure, yeah.
Sure. And, of course, we kept confession. Yeah, people like to say naughty things in a dark room while someone hides and listens to them. We have that, but we don't have any more sin. The kids, it's just going to appeal to everybody.
Well, it sounds popular. That was always kind of the downside of I was raised Catholic, John.
Yeah, Catholic
You know,
myself.
Yes.
sinning was a major thing. You'd get in trouble that way.
I can give you absolution. Absolutely.
Really? Now, the Catholics have a pope. Do you have? Are you the guy?
Yeah, I guess that would be me. I don't like the name Pope. I think that's too parental. Right now, I'm considering the name Dolly Hancho. Dolly Hancho. But I have
Got a ring to it.
It does, doesn't it? I have designed a cap for me to wear.
Because the Pope has that big mitre thing.
Yeah, well, I wanted to blow that mitered cap right out of the water. See? So this is my hat, huh? Kind of fetching, don't you think?
It is. Dolly Hancho. That's what it says to me.
Good. Well, thank you. Thank you.
So now, does this religion appeal to everybody? How are you going to, get it to catch on?
Well, first of all, we plan to build a series of temples.
Temple?
Yeah, that's a cross between a church and a temple.
Ah, I see. All right.
I don't have the plans with me, but we have designed a nice split-level thing. It's covered with crosses and Jewish stars, and there's a lotus pond in the backyard.
Sounds beautiful.
So, and there'll be a suggestion box.
Great.
Sure.
And you're going to build this out here in California?
Well, we hope to, yes.
How are you going to get money then?
Well, we're going to give fair value for the money that people give us. We're offering a series of gifts that you see. Well, for example, we have these. These are little sucking candies. These are called Christaboo Jujubes.
Really?
See? They're multicolored. Please help yourself.
like one?
Yes, they stick to your
I don't
soul.
know. This is how Jim Jones started. You don't have Kool-Aid too, do you?
Now, is there a significance to the different colors?
Well, no, they all, but they all taste of strawberry, even though there is no strawberry in them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Kind of a mystical thing we haven't figured. And it relieves stress through the gentle sucking motion.
I hear that.
Here's another item. It's an edible rosary. Pray a little bit, snack a little bit.
Because I would always get lost doing the rosary. You forget where you're counting, but
That's
I guess if you're
right.
eating along the way, you
When
know
you
when
get
you're
to
done.
lemon lime, it's time.
Sure. And what is this?
This is our favorite object. We hope this to become very popular. It has a little Velcro strip on the bottom so you can put it right on the dashboard of your car. It's a dashboard saint, and it's a composite of all our religions. It's Buddha. He's got the little curly Jewish curls there.
Yes, sure.
And a cross around his neck. And he'll help you get a good parking place.
Pretty well.
All you're missing is the Mormon. You could have 10 wives, too.
Well, he might have them under his gown. You never know.
You need a big dashboard for that. Well, those are, at least that's good. You're getting something back for your cash. Now, how are you going to kind of grow the religion? Because I know you're kind of just starting out right now,
Well, that's true. You're either on the way up or on the way down. We feel that if this thing takes hold, we want to appeal to another large group. We want to appeal to the Muslims.
That's actually, I think, the fastest growing religion in the world right now.
Right. They're a fun-loving bunch. They never hold a grudge.
No, not the Muslims.
So if our cards haven't been printed yet, we're going to call ourselves the Christa Buju Moosies.
That's got a ring to it.
Well, thank you for letting me on your show,
It's
Mark.
great to have
Nice
you here.
meet you. Let me leave you with our traditional blessing.
Oh, great. Do we need to bow our heads?
No,
or-
just get ready to receive it. It's coming your way.
Okay.
May the serene face of Moses guide you through the Easter parade.
Combine them all
He
there.
did. We'll be right back with hemp advocate Chris Conrad. Don't go away. Welcome back. This next book I have a feeling our band is familiar with. It's called Hemp, Lifeline to the Future. And this guy, Chris, has spent a lifetime getting the world to recognize the practical uses of hemp, not necessarily getting high, but there are some good uses for society. And he's out here to tell us about them. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chris Conrad. Here, have a seat. Frank. Hemp, Lifeline to the Future. What got you interested in the whole movement to legalize hemp?
Over Thanksgiving dinner one year in 1988, I was asked, we got into a discussion about legalizing marijuana, and somebody said to me, well, why did they make it illegal in the first place? And I really didn't know the answer, so I looked into it, and I found out this amazing link, which is that everything that you can make out of fossil fuels, cotton, or timber, you can also make more economically out of hemp, the stalks of the plant, that is, without producing any drugs at all, and that this whole was just a pretext. The marijuana laws are just a pretext to give advantages to certain industries over the hemp industry.
Really? Now, you say there's 50,000 commercial products that you can make out of hemp. Can you list some of them?
Yeah, sure. Food, clothing, shelter, paper, plastic, fuel.
You can
make anything.
I can run my car on pot.
You certainly can. You can make methanol out of the stalks.
This thing does everything, man.
But it's actually, cannabis can be used for a lot of different medical purposes. In fact, it can be used for glaucoma, epilepsy, arthritis, multiple sclerosis, and so forth. It's kind of complicated how it all works, but the thing I would like to mention is, like, people are familiar, if anybody may have smoked cannabis, not
have
to
you
name
ever?
names or anything. Well, I'm the curator of the Cannabis Information Museum in Holland, and one of my jobs was to go and check out the different coffee shops in Amsterdam and around.
Your job.
Hey, I'm just doing
I gotta do it.
Come on.
I had to do it.
Honey, will you leave me alone? I'm trying to get some work done here.
To find the best.
Sandwich, will you? I'm hungry.
But anyway, so anybody who's got a little experience with that knows about the effects of what we call the munchies from smoking. Actually, only certain kinds of cannabis have that kind of effect, and it's in the flowering tops, not the parts you use industrially. You know, the industrial uses of hemp for these different things that we've been talking about, it doesn't produce drug either by virtue of the strains that are used, the parts that are used, or the farming techniques
So you
that are
can
used.
grow marijuana that doesn't get you high. It's just now. It can be like a fabric, right? What's this shirt
Absolutely.
made out of?
This shirt is made of a blend of hemp and cotton. And I've got some other things to show you here, too.
Do you?
By the way, so we'll go ahead and pop a few of these out for you.
What's the bag made of?
Well, the bag is itself made out of hemp. And here we've got some writing paper made out of hemp with some wheat straw and other kinds of fiber. It's 50% hemp. Great for writing term papers on the subject for those who like to do that. For your
build an
students.
ocean liner out of this stuff.
Actually, most of the world's ships have always been using hemp because of the sails, the ropes, and the caulking were made out of hemp. But part of the link I wanted to make right now is, you're totally right, is the link between money and hemp, which is this wallet that's made out of hemp, by the way. Curiously enough, the fabric is. And inside the wallet, we pull out a little bit of money, and you get a little history lesson here at the same time, because George Washington, father of our country, he grew hemp, and he said that people should make the most of the hemp seed and grow it everywhere.
The money's made out of hemp.
Can you see that? George Washington saying, I grew hemp.
Look at his eyes are really bloated.
Yeah.
Looks high right there.
I think he's got a sub sandwich in his hand, too. It's hard to tell.
And here on the $100 bill, we have Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin started our first paper mill in the country made using hemp to make it. He made the paper that was used to sign the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. The Declaration of Independence was, of course, said that people have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And this is another reason I'm very adamant on this, is because our founding fathers believed in this freedom, which is being taken away from us every day under this pretext of a drug war, which is a total fraud. It's an industrial repression is what it is.
Wow. So the actual document, the Declaration of Independence, was on hemp paper?
The original drafts were. The version that's now...
What happened to them?
I think someone rolled them up and...
Yeah. We'll be right back with more of the show. Don't go away. We're back and we're about out of time. I want to thank our guest one more time, Mr. John Camponera.
Yeah.
Mr. Chris Conrad. And Mr. Frank Ellerby. That's it. Good night, America. Thanks for watching.